All right, guys, I've got a couple of cameras trying to do a little bit of showing you how to hook up a gas manometer. I know everybody says, well, that's just crazy gear. Everybody knows how to hook up a gas manometer. You'll be surprised at the guys that will not admit that they don't know how. So guys, let's just go in here for a second. Let's go ahead. I'm going to try to have a 2-camera angle, and I'm going to go ahead and try to show this thing where we can get this thing hooked up. So first thing I'm going to do is I always want to go in and I want to cut my gas off. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to cut my gas valve off. Now that I've got my gas valve off, it's going to leak just a little bit of gas out. You'll be able to smell it a little bit. I don't think, or I hope that you're not smoking out there to where that you can set it off. So we want to be careful. We want to go ahead and try to check our valve. I'll need a couple of things. I'll need a couple of hoses. Now there is some valves, some of your older valves will have a little piece in there that will be a little screw thread that will have the adapter for the top of this. But on our valve that we have right here, we have a White Rogers, and it's going to be to where we set our little tubes over the top of it. So what I'm going to do, it does not matter, guys. You can use a 2-port manometer. That is no problem. Guys, you can also use a set of probe manometers, and either one is fine if you like to use it on your phone. I always like to use these because I can take it on my phone and I can get a reading and I can check it back or refer back to it or go back and keep my records. But today we're not going to use these. We're going to use a dual port, and we'll do it that way. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to take and assemble it and put them on there and what pressures we're checking. So guys, what we're going to do, we're going to come right here. We're going to go in. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take out our screws. And if you can see it on this other one, I'm going to take out a screw right there at the front. And here comes the tough part, guys. If you get in there, do not lose these screws. If you drop it, it can be really tough. So let me put this one down. Then I'm going to take out the other screw that's on the back side. Now, why is there 2 screws? Why are there 2 things we need to check? One is going to be my incoming pressure, and one is my outgoing pressure. Now, if the unit is not running, of course at that time, I won't have an outgoing pressure, but I will have an incoming pressure, and that might be my problem. It might be that my incoming pressure is not enough or too much. So let's go ahead and take that other screw out. We'll go ahead right here. It's going to be somewhere on the bottom side. You'll see the 2. Now, if this was a 2-stage gas valve, we would still have incoming and outgoing, but at the same time, we would have 2 screw caps to where that we could adjust our pressures, one for low, one for high. This here is a single stage, and we're just going to do a single stage today. So what we're going to do, just want to make sure that you never lose those things. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to attach them. You're just going to slide this over the top, and it's a snug fit, and of course that's what you want. You want a snug fit. All right, I've got that one pushed all the way down. Now I'm going to take my other one, I'm going to put it on my incoming. Okay, so now I'm going to hook it up to my manometer. So when I hook it up to my manometer, I'm going to go to the top. And it's going to help if I look at which one is which. I'm going to go ahead and change this. I'm going to put my outgoing on my P1, or I'll put it on my P2. I'll put my outgoing on my P2 and the incoming on my P1, because that's the first thing that's going to hit us is the incoming, so that's P1. And I'll take and I'll put the P2 the other way. Now, I'm going to go ahead. I'll cut my meter on. Okay? And it's pretty close to being zeroed out. So what I want to do, and I'll get that in there and show it. It's pretty close to being zeroed out. But what I want to do, I want to go ahead and hit my zero, hold it for a few seconds, turn it loose, and now I'm zeroed. So now I'm going to come in here. My outgoing pressure, I'm going to put it as P2. So I'm going to put it in, I'm going to put it in as P2. Incoming pressure from my gas valve or my gas source. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it on there. So I'll go ahead and I'll try to put this where that you can see it. Possibly even have to hold it. But I'll hold it up closer in a minute. Let's go ahead and let's turn our gas valve back on. So now I'm going to turn my gas valve back on. And in turning my gas valve back on, this is natural gas. So as I can see, I see that natural gas, I have 6.19, which is a little low. But in this building, if we have any heat running, it is low. Our gas company did change out our gas source, and when they changed it out, they didn't put a big enough regulator in. Typically, on this, I would want this to be anywhere up to 10 maybe, from 7 to about 10 PSIG. So we're looking at that, and there's our thing. So what we want to do, we're going to sit there. We're going to go ahead, we've got our valve back on, so I'm going to just go right over here, and I'm going to go over to the thermostat, and I'm going to turn it into heat. Okay, I've turned it on to heat. My inducer draft motor's on. It's going to run its checks. It's going to go through everything. Here in Birmingham, I've taken all the units and put a glass front on them so that you can see them, see what they're doing as we're looking at them. I've got the front off of this one so that we can work on it. My glow igniter has come on. It's proof. It is fired. Now that it's fired, I'm looking at my first pressure, so I want to look at my first pressure. So I'm going to push it to P2. Now when I push to P2, it gives me in the top what I'm running at. Now I'm going to put it up to the camera, and I'm running at a 3.5. Natural gas, that is perfect for natural gas. If not, let's just say that I did have to adjust it. So I would come right here. It's a single stage gas valve. So I'm going to come to the top right here and my little brass cap. I'm going to take the brass cap off, and then I'm just going to adjust it. And as I adjust it, I'm going to watch my meter. And when I watch my meter, I'm going to adjust it to the point that it reaches what I need. It may be too much. So I will bring it and turn it counterclockwise to bring it back down, or clockwise to squeeze the spring and bring the pressure up. Guys, it is not hard to do, and I recommend that you do this on every install. Even if you think, coming from the factory, the valve should be set correctly, it's not always set correctly. How many times have you seen anything come through an assembly line and it be perfect? Usually not. So guys, please, for your customer's sake, for your sake as a company, please check these gas valves. Guys, if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. I'll try to do my best to get back with everyone. I thank you and I appreciate it. We're going to reverse this now. We're going to come back through. I'm going to say that, hey, I've checked, everything is good. Let's go back through the process of closing this back up. I'm going to go over here to my thermostat and I'm going to cut it off. When it got a call to cut off, my gas stopped. It closed my gas valve. And right now, the inducer's winding down. I'm going to go back here and I will cut my gas to off. Like I say, you will have a little bit of gas that's trapped in our lines. We won't worry about that. So we'll go ahead and we'll take them both off. And they're snug. That's the way we want them to be. I'll take my little Allen wrench. This one here is 3/32, and I'll hold on to the end of it real snug, and I'm going to put them back in. Make a couple of turns back. If you feel any resistance, make sure you don't cross thread it. Go a couple of turns back. When you feel it jump, you'll know that it's seating the threads. So now, and I'll just snug it up a little bit to make sure she's in there. That one's good. I'm going to go to the next one. Here's my next screw. I want to be doing the same thing. All right, I've got it seated up in there, so I'm going to go backwards until I feel it click, and then I'm going to start going forwards. If I get any resistance, I didn't get it right. So I'm just going to go back. Now I can do it with my fingers. So I know it's not cross-threaded. Snug it down. If I had adjusted it and took my cap off, make sure you put your cap back on. And then at that point in time, you're all buttoned up and you're ready to go. Guys, it's really simple. The more you do it, the quicker it will get. I encourage you to start checking every valve you come across to make sure that it is in the right place and it is where it should be. Guys, do this, make you a better technician. Thanks.